In a quiet village named Nurabad, nestled between rolling hills and green pastures, life moved slowly but peacefully. The mornings were alive with birdsong, and the evenings echoed with the melodious call to prayer from the mosque. In this serene village lived a young man named Salman, who once carried a heart full of laughter and hope. But over the years, life had weighed heavily on him. His father had passed away when he was still young, leaving his mother in fragile health, and the family business had collapsed. Salman now wandered through his days, burdened with worries, questioning the purpose of his struggles, and often asking himself, if Allah is all-powerful, why does my life seem so unfair? One morning, as he walked along the village fields, Salman's eyes fell on the mighty mountains in the distance. Their peaks pierced the clouds, silent and steadfast. He wondered how these mountains had stood for centuries through storms, rain, snow, and wind. If Allah can hold these mountains firm, surely He can guide me through my difficulties, he thought. But even this reflection brought only a faint flicker of hope. His heart still felt heavy with sorrow. Feeling restless, Salman decided to leave Nurabad for the big city, hoping to find work and a new beginning. As he traveled, the bus passed through barren landscapes and forests. Suddenly, the engine stopped, leaving the passengers stranded in a dense forest at night. The sky was clear, and the stars shone brilliantly, each one twinkling in perfect order. Salman stepped off the bus and looked up, mesmerized. In that quiet moment, he realized, if Allah can keep thousands of stars perfectly in their place, surely He can manage the affairs of my life as well. The thought was small, but it lit a tiny flame of trust in his heart. As the passengers waited for help, Salman wandered into the forest, guided only by moonlight. Soon, he noticed a small bird tirelessly gathering twigs for its nest. The bird didn't have a plan or a map, yet it worked diligently, ensuring its young would be safe and cared for. Salman watched quietly, tears welling up in his eyes. He realized that Allah provides for every creature, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. If He takes care of this tiny bird, He will surely take care of me too, Salman whispered to himself. A short distance away, he found a humble hut where an elderly man named Baba Karim lived. The old man had a gentle smile and wise eyes that seemed to see through the soul. He welcomed Salman in offering tea and a place to rest. Salman shared his story, his struggles, his loss, and his growing doubts. Baba Karim listened patiently and then spoke. Bida Allah's Qudrat is not only in the mountains and stars, but also in the patience He gives us to endure hardships. Just as a seed must remain buried in darkness before it grows into a tree, your challenges are shaping you into someone stronger. Salman stayed in the hut for several days, observing nature in its raw, beautiful simplicity. He witnessed the forest awaken with the chirping of birds at dawn, the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze, and the sudden cleansing showers of rain. One morning, as the rain fell, he noticed how parched soil drank the water eagerly, releasing the fresh, earthy fragrance. Baba Karim said, "See, just like this soil, we too are nourished by the mercy of Allah, often in ways we cannot immediately understand." Slowly, Salman's perspective began to shift. He saw that Allah's Qudrat was not only in miraculous events, but also in the ordinary rhythms of life. The growth of plants, the flow of rivers, the changing seasons, and the gentle care of creatures for their young. Every element of nature seemed to whisper a silent lesson of trust, patience, and balance. He realized that Allah's Qudrat is perfect and all-encompassing, guiding the universe and every detail within it. Weeks passed, and Salman decided to return to Nurabad. He returned not as a man fleeing hardship, but as someone who had witnessed Allah's signs in nature and in life, learning patience, gratitude, and humility. He reopened his small business with renewed faith, dedicating his efforts to honesty and hard work. Slowly, his mother's health improved, and the village people noticed the quiet strength and peace in Salman's demeanor. Salman began to teach the village children, sharing stories of nature, Allah's signs, and the importance of trust in Allah's plan. He told them how a tiny bird, the stars in the sky, and even the flowing rivers carry lessons, resilience, and divine wisdom. He explained, Allah's Qudrat is everywhere. Sometimes He tests us not to harm us, but to help us grow. Just like storms help trees grow stronger roots. Years later, Salman often sat under a large banyan tree by the river, watching the sun rise and set, marveling at the cycles of life. He no longer asked why life was hard, but instead reflected every hardship, every blessing, every moment. These are all signs of Allah's Qudrat. He is guiding me, even when I do not see the full path. He had learned that true understanding of Allah's Qudrat comes not from seeing the outcome immediately, but from trusting His wisdom and observing the harmony in the universe. He often reminded himself and others that Allah's Qudrat is perfect and all-encompassing, present in the mountains, the rivers, the stars, and every heartbeat. Life's trials were no longer burdens, but opportunities to witness Allah's wisdom and mercy. In every sunrise, every gentle rain, and every night sky filled with stars, Salman saw the living proof that Allah's Qudrat governs all things, great and small, in perfect harmony. And so, Nurabad flourished, not only in prosperity, but also in spiritual awareness. The villagers, inspired by Salman's experiences, began to see Allah's signs in their everyday lives. They learned that hardships are lessons, patience is a blessing, and gratitude strengthens the soul. And in every heart that noticed the rising sun, the flowing river, and the birdsong at dawn, the infinite Qudrat of Allah was felt and cherished.